everybody. Ian Riccaboni, Cary Silkin, AJ from Bisson Creative Web Design. It is 55.5. And
What a week it's been.
What a week it's been. We have a sad update. Frank Marconi, that wrestled Billy Jack Haynes, was not King Kong Marconi. So sorry, folks. If you joined us yesterday, we had a little bit of misinformation. That's the trouble of doing about 30 minutes worth of research on each of these guys. On the not so well-known guys, we confirmed that his career sort of ended in Western Canada around 1970. And that was for the most part what that Frank Marconi did. This other man looked a lot like Super Mario.
Yeah.
And not like the
well,
man.
Our viewers that see the picture of the 1955 Frank Marconi,
Right.
It would just be hard to imagine 30 years later.
He looked like he de-aged about 20 years, grew a full head of hair, full mustache, and gained about 100 pounds. So,
well, I know you got someone for me that I'm going to be able to fill the plate with information.
This is one of these fun ones where only Greg Oliver knew anything about this man, because Greg Oliver wrote a very nice obituary of a man that only wrestled a handful of matches, but had stayed connected through wrestling, just through things like Cauliflower Alley Club, things like that. Just really seemed to enjoy wrestling. So he became a noted salesman of various goods.
All-purpose cleaner.
All-purpose cleaner, yeah.
Aluminum siding.
Just a really personable guy, apparently. And so
right.
it was really heartwarming to learn more about this man. And this is one of these episodes that's going to be solely dedicated to just keeping this name in wrestling, because other than Greg Oliver, not many people have. Cary, it's doubtful, it's possible. Can you tell me anything about the man known as Jack Laskin? I also have some other aliases. Johnny Leroy, Abe Levinsky, Matt Burns, Peter Wickenoff. Those are all names that this man used.
Well, no, I can't. Matt Burns must have been a rib.
Yeah, right? Yeah, there you go. I didn't even think of that at first.
And what was the Abe name?
Abe Levinsky. So the back of the card notes that he is one of the quote-unquote most promising Jewish stars that they've seen.
Fine-looking man.
Yeah, handsome guy.
Maybe the Abe Levinsky stands out just because, except for Abe Jacobs. You ever hear that name?
Yeah.
But go ahead. Let me hear this fountain of information.
Yeah. And really, what I'm going to read is actually his own obituary that he wrote and submitted to the Sacramento Bee in the event of his death. And it's actually kind of a heartwarming. It sounds very morbid, but it's actually quite heartwarming because this is the sense of humor that he had.
Okay.
And it comes from Greg Oliver's piece. You can go to Slam Wrestling and check it out. There's a great archive there. It's about Jack Laskin and his obituary, because it's quite charming. It tells you a lot about the man. Jack Laskin has left the world. He will not be returning. Enough is enough. He's done it all. From the Samana business to professional wrestling all over the world. Then for 10 years, a successful Fuller brushman. Then a salesman. Then computer service bureau. Then marriage to Audrey. Then a collection agency. Then a public speaker on the, quote, pro circuit. Then a move to Penn, California in 1989. Then retirement. Then volunteer Jewish chaplain at Folsom Prison and 2 major hospitals. Then retirement again after he lost Audrey in 2008. And just officiating at weddings and funerals. When he lost Audrey, he lost his best audience and critic. There was no one left to impress. His humor was outdated. His last creative act was writing this obituary, just to be sure all the facts were there. Jack was a member of Temple Oration and doesn't want any flowers. You want to send flowers? Go to somebody else's funeral. Better, you should send a donation to Temple Oration for the building fund or to the Heart or Cancer Fund, or take some kid and buy them a book and say it's from me. But you can put it in your name too. Me and you, we did something nice together. Jack was born on March 13th, 1929, Hamilton, Ontario, and is survived by everybody. His last words to one and all is, "It's been a pleasure." Friends are welcome to attend the funeral service Wednesday, December 1st, 2010 at 1 p.m. at Sunset Lawn in the Chapel of the Chimes. And it lists the address in Sacramento, California.
So, very sweet.
Yeah, very sweet. I mean, just you could tell his sense of humor. He had an interesting career overseas. He wrestled in a number of countries. France jumps off the page quite a bit. UK. Never made a huge name. He was 15, 20, and 16 on the matches they have records for on Cage Match. So not a winner, not a loser.
Well, in this day and age, writing your own obituary, right?
Yeah.
You probably remember this. You do, AJ, you do too. If it wasn't your parents, it'd be your grandparents. They'd open the paper,
Right.
and after looking maybe at the sport, depending who it was, the sports or the TV section, they'd go right, or the whatever, they'd go right to the obituaries.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, my grandmother, like, what? Just because that's the way you saw. Look, Solly Goldberg passed away.
Yeah.
So now with the internet, within minutes if someone passes away. So
Yeah.
I give a lot of credit to Jack.
83 years old.
That's really cool.
Yeah, 83. And he got to travel the world a little bit, only was active for a handful of years. And
He did a lot of nice things.
yeah. And could you tell, this seems to be a Yiddish word, schmata?
I don't know.
You don't know schmata?
No.
Okay, so we had an update on Frank Marconi today. We're going to give a schmata update episode. I bet you Colt might know.
I doubt it.
Colt knows a lot of Yiddish. He knows a lot of those words. You're a little more hip to it than he is, though. You're right.
Well, we'll look it up.
We'll look it up. We'll get you an answer. And to Jack Laskin and his family, very sweet.
I bet you it has something to do with a piece of clothing.
Yeah, that could be.
Because there's another Yiddish word that I can't, that's not coming to me. That would be like a raggedy dress. Like my mother would say, oh, it's a schmatza or something.
Yeah.
What's this word?
It looks like schmata, SHMATA.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to check it immediately.
There you go. We'll bring an update on Monday, where we'll be back with episode 71. 8 p.m. is when all the episodes premiere every weekday until we get through all 121. It feels like we're almost there, Cary.
We're having a blast.
We're rolling downhill. We're learning about Jack Laskin. We're learning about Frank Marconi. Frank Marconi, not 6 decades, but 5, which is still equally impressive. That's the true mini Minoso mark of career.
That's not to be challenged.
Not to be challenged. We know that is undisputable. So for AJ, our producer, for Cary, we hope you join us on Monday when we come back with another exciting edition, episode 71, with a Shamata update. And we'll see you then. Happy wrestling, everybody.